Hello, my name is Michelle Cornell, and the topic I will be discussing is lead glazed pottery. The purpose of the presentation is to educate the process of lead glazed pottery from an environmental health perspective, looking into lead poisoning levels and its cause in different parts of Mexico, and promoting awareness to help keep lead poisoning under control. The cost of lead ingestion that I will focus on in this presentation is through the traditional Mexican pottery, which are glazed with lead to give it a shiny effect. So this is my table of contents. Number 1, I'll be answering what is lead. 2, lead levels in different parts of Mexico, all from lead glazed pottery. 3, health effects on lead glazed pottery. 4, how does lead enter the human body? 5, awareness on lead exposure and promoting lead-free pottery. 6, summary, and 7, the reference list. I went ahead and added this picture to the right to show various different levels of lead in our blood and to indicate what they all mean. For example, the lowest amount is already developmental toxicity. As we increase, we're reaching decreased vitamin D metabolism, and the further we go up in the ladder, it can eventually lead to death. So, what is lead? Lead is a heavy metal, also known as number 82 on the periodic table. It's naturally found in Earth's crust. For example, when a volcano erupts, lead is then released into the environment. This is okay. This happens naturally, and we don't really get affected as much by it. However, what does harm human is lead that is used for paint pigments, dyes, ceramic laces, and of course, other forms such as car batteries, cable covers, pipes, etc. So lead is has useful properties which include corrosion resistance, low melting point, and ease in molding and shaping. Therefore, it is very common in the pottery world. Lead levels in different parts of Mexico, all from lead glazed pottery. Pure Earth aims to identify and clean up pollution worldwide. They mentioned that each month 350 tons of lead oxide is used for pottery purposes, and 20 out of 32 states in Mexico are key producers. This chart shows the lead levels in Mexico versus rural and urban places in Mexico. So this graph clearly indicates that those living in rural areas of Mexico have higher lead levels for the simple fact that people living in rural areas, most of their homes are real close to dirt and soil, so the kids are always playing outside on the dirt or on the soil. A lot of these people are the ones running the pottery workshops. Therefore, when whatever type of lead they come across at work, they're carrying it in their clothes and taking it back inside their homes. This is a chart that I created, and basically it proves what last charts what was the previous chart was referring to. So indeed, this shows the center of Mexico, Mexico City, southern places of Mexico, and northern places of Mexico, and you can see that Mexico City, which is considered the urban area, indeed has lower anemia levels in children 5 years of age and under. Health effects on lead glazed pottery. So, lead poisoning in children has been linked to learning disabilities, developmental delays, and lower IQ scores. Um, there's also elevated blood pressure that comes along, and lastly, coma and death. How does lead enter the human body? So, lead can enter our body through ingestion. Lead can stay in our hands, and if we're not washing them accordingly after touching contaminated soil, um, we can easily get lead into our bloodstream, drinking water from lead pipes or polluted rivers, and eating fruits and vegetables that are not properly washed, consuming from a lead glazed pottery, which is the focus of today's presentation. Another way lead enters the human body is through inhalation. So, dust and particles found in soil near older homes, roadways, waysides, factories. This is highly common among those who work with lead and then go home and carry the lead in their clothing. Another one is absorption through the skin, which is a low route of exposure, but the chances increase if the person has an open wound or a cut. Which leads me into awareness on lead exposure slash promoting lead-free pottery. So acidic and spicy foods such as chili peppers, lemons served on lead glazed pottery will accelerate the transmission of lead to the food and then to the humans consuming it, causing high concentrations on lead in many families. As a result, increasing health concerns such as neurologic problems. Luckily for Barro Aprobado project led by Daniel Estrada and Netzi Peralta, they aim to eliminate all lead glazed pottery and convert to a lead-free alternative. So the way they are promoting this amazing alternative is by visiting pottery workshops and talking about the risk of lead that it has on humans, as well as educating people on lead-free alternatives and how it can look as beautiful, and of course it's cheaper to make. um, but they also encourage support from officials. So right now they have gained support from the former Mexican president and a famous author, as well as important agencies in Mexico that do contribute to the funding of this project. Aside from all this, I believe it's very important to continue providing awareness to children, especially. So, indicating or enforcing, better yet, the importance of washing their hands after playing outside, properly washing the foods that they're going to eat, playing away from dirt and soil, and better yet, going to a concrete area, and of course, properly washing their toys. So, in conclusion, lead glazed pottery affects over 70% of the population. With the help of the launch of Barro Aprobado project in 2013, 100 workshops are now lead free. About 10 to 50,000 pottery workshops in Mexico exist, and we need many more to convert on over to the lead free option, especially since about 80 million men, women, and children in Mexico have lead levels above the normal range of 5. Artisans are reluctant to switch to the lead free glaze, partly because of tradition and partly because of a lack of understanding about the problem and risk of leaded glazes. However, I think with proper awareness, with monitoring the blood lead levels in people from this community, with proper nutrition, encouraging, calcium foods, iron rich foods, vitamin C foods, it can all help um, bring this lead level a little lower. Thank you.